pancakes, flapjacks, hot cakes, griddle cakes, smooth waffles, whatever you want to call them, they're an American institution. They're so baked into our national identity, our cultural mythos, and even our weekend traditions. If your mom really loved you. And like everything that America does, they're probably too big. Huge, fluffy, dinner plate-sized cakes, stacked as high as the FDA will legally allow, and then buried in syrup and butter. Is there anything more American?
Where you separate the men from the boys. Woo! Hope you're hungry.
And while pancakes in the States are beloved, in the Western Slavic nation, they have blini, which are kind of like their own religion here. However, they greatly differ from the big, thick, sweet cakes that we have in America. Blini are very thin and usually rolled with some sort of stuffing. It can be either sweet or savory. If you still can't picture what a blini is, just think of a French crepe. They're basically French crepes. But, don't tell the French I said that.
Are they the really thin pancakes?
Yeah. Yes, they are. Those are really thin pancakes. It's just a French word for them.
Oh my God, I love those.
So heat up that skillet and get ready to make your new favorite food, because I'm going to teach you guys how to make blini. For blini, you will need eggs, milk, flour, salt, sugar, oil. You can add more sugar if you prefer a sweeter pancake, or more salt if you want savory. Traditionally, blini were made to mark the end of winter and the birth of spring by making large, thin pancakes that resembled the sun. And if you've never lived in Ukraine, Russia, or Belarus, you have no idea how nice it is to see the sun after a long winter. This pre-Christian spring pancake tradition has evolved to a modern week-long holiday called Maslenitsa. It's kind of like our Mardi Gras, and is commonly celebrated by, of course, making blini. This week-long festival has evolved from a religious week of indulgence to more of a holiday exploited by restaurants, but it's still quite beloved. Here's a bonus linguistics fact. The singular of blini, blin, has evolved to mean something along the lines of shoot, damn it, darn it, or just kind of like a filler word. Although this is likely less related to Slavic soul's adoration of tiny pancakes, and more to do with the fact that it sounds oddly similar to the mother of all Russian swear words. But that's a different story. If you guys would be interested in a video on Russian swear words, let me know in the comments below. I know it's not food related, but I think that this would still be interesting. Everything you see here will be used for filling. One sweet, one more European with salmon, cream cheese, and dill, and one that will more resemble an American breakfast burrito, because I know some of you guys are afraid of change. I've chosen eggs and bacon, because, who doesn't love a good bacon pancake?
Bacon pancakes, that's what it's gonna make. Bacon pancakes.
Hey guys, here's just a little quick tip out there for those of you who want to experiment a bit with the fillings that you put in your blini. A good way to think of blini are kind of like the way you would top a bagel. So anything that you might put on a bagel would probably be pretty good inside of a blini. If you want to do cream cheese, raisin, and brown sugar, sounds good. Peanut butter and jelly? Go for it. Roast beef, onion, mustard, and horseradish? Hey man, the world's your oyster. Feel free to try out anything that you want. It's pretty cool. First, you want to mix your eggs, sugar, and salt, and whisk until a thin layer of foam starts to form on the surface. Then add your milk and mix again. I let the milk and eggs sit out a bit just to get closer to room temperature. I'm not really sure if this affects the pancakes. Milk. Once you've combined the milk, you will sift the flour slowly and methodically. The biggest mistake people make when making blini is that they mix in the flour too quickly and without properly sifting. This flour has been sifted 3 times already, and I'm only adding the flour 1/4 at a time. Once your dough is mixed, start heating your pan. It'll give your dough enough time to sit and properly hydrate. For my American audience, the batter may seem super thin, but fear not, it should be the consistency of a thick soup. In a freshly buttered pan, you'll want to ladle in your batter, but don't let your butter burn before adding the batter. As you ladle in the batter, try and spread it as evenly as possible, and then immediately twist and rotate the pan so that the highly liquid blini batter will spread in a thin but even layer around the entire bottom of the pan. Otherwise, you'll end up with wonky pancakes. I cooked the first few pancakes at a lower temp, and while the texture was perfect, they didn't pick up any color, so I raised the heat. If you have an induction oven, or one of them fancy modern cooking stoves that seems to make heat from what ain't nothing at all, you might not need to cook them at such a high temp. These don't take long at all to cook. Look for the little bubbles to start forming on the top as it cooks through. I use a pair of chopsticks to lift the edges and check for doneness, and a fish spatula to flip them. If you're more fleet of pan than I am, then you can try and flip them like a flapjack, but my attempts to do so were met with less than spectacular results. Each blini should only take 3 to 4 minutes to cook, depending on the heat of your pan and the viscosity of your batter. There is actually a Russian idiom for making blini and how it relates to life. Первый блин всегда комом. It means the first blini is always lumpy. It's basically the Russian version of, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Now that the pancakes are done, I've made my filling. For the sweeter cakes, I prefer to just fold them and eat them with my topping of choice. Sour cream, jams and jellies, honey, sweet cheeses, even Nutella are quite common to use for sweet little blinis. Just fold them in half and then fold them again to create a magical edible napkin that you can top with whatever you want. Another blini will be filled with salmon, cream cheese, and dill. But fuck capers, they nasty. Here I think the coloration on these blinis is perfect. They're still soft and flexible, but nice and golden brown. Here I've also got my eggs and bacon for my knockoff Slavic breakfast burrito. If you want to make more blini for a larger family, feel free to double the batter recipe. But as you can see here, I've already made what I feel is just way too much for a single soul.
This certainly is an upsetting number of pancakes.
Now to make my imitation breakfast burrito with scrambled eggs, bacon, and sriracha sauce. Adding grated cheese and jalapeno would also be amazing. Like I said, you can put damn near anything in these. Regardless of filling, you want to roll them exactly as you would a burrito. Folding up the bottom lip, a quarter rotation, and then folding the sides in before rolling completely. Using the same technique, I made my salmon blini, with just a smear of cream cheese inside and on top. The salmon blini are good, but I personally feel there are better ways to use such an incredible fish. Still nice though. My imitation breakfast burrito blini came out better than I expected. I think next time I'd likely not add sugar to the batter though, and bump up the salt a bit. Still, hard to go wrong with bacon, egg, and blini.
And full of pancakes. Any rational person feeling the way I do now would definitely stop.
Now on to my favorite way to eat blini. Sour cream and jam or fruit preserves. These just seem to go so well with these little cakes. I mean, maybe I can't wrap my American head around a savory pancake, but in my opinion, sweet blini is the best blini. So there you have it guys, a simple and easy to make blini recipe that can be adapted to fit any palate, from the snobbishly discerning to the childishly simple. Feel free to let me know in the comments below your favorite way to eat blini, both sweet and savory. As always, I love hearing from you guys, and your suggestions definitely impact what I choose to cook next, so please let me know in the comments below what else you'd like to see. Until next time, eat well friends.